Heidi ho, haterino there, neighborinos.
Hi.
What's up? Why are you laughing? What's going on?
You have the straightest microphone in the world. It is
Look at that.
incredible.
Straight up and down.
Mr. Vertical.
Mr. Vertical. Does it remind you of anything?
Strong like bull Kevin over here. Hi,
Look
welcome
at
to the
that.
Candid Athletic Training Podcast. I'm Chad. He's Kevin.
Yes, we are.
We're going to try not to get kicked off our own podcast.
Hopefully not.
'Cause
That would be kind of crazy.
Kevin's getting kicked off
I'm getting kicked off at
Twitter.
Twitter because I don't use it. Literally.
Well, is it true that if you don't
I'm going to show the people.
use it, you lose it? Is
Ooh,
that what I'm hearing?
It just keeps giving me this. I don't know, you can't see it probably on the screen. Oops, something went wrong. And then every time I open Twitter, I literally get a lovely suspended. Your account is currently suspended. For more information, please log on to twitter.com. Who knows? I legitimately have never posted anything.
Maybe that's
cares?
why. Maybe they think you're a bot.
Oh, maybe. They might think I'm a bot. I have no idea. What's weird, though, is, like, I can still, once I dismiss that, I can still, like, see stuff. And then as soon as I try to, well, no, look, I pulled up Candid Athletic Training. That's so weird. Like, can I vote on something?
Nobody can hold the power of Candid Athletic Training. What's the
Nobody can hold us back.
How do you get to the Twitter, the Candid ATC Twitter account? What is it?
At Candid_ATC.
You shall check it out.
You shall check it out. Hit that little follow button. Send us a message if you want. Send us some, I don't know, suggestions for the show. If you want to hear a specific FMK,
Please do.
Maybe a fat.
It's getting increasingly harder.
It really is
to come up with our own.
Oh, welcome
Hi,
in,
all.
Nisi, Nate, Megan. Welcome.
Thanks to all the live streamers. We appreciate you showing up and being a part of these shenanigans. I think it's a fun show. Actually, you have no idea what's coming.
I think our show is always fun.
I know. I thought last week's was especially fun. I think tonight's is going to be a good time. We're going to do some commandments. Some rehab commandments. Because I think we did commandments 200 some shows ago.
Oh, I was going to look that up.
But I don't think those were rehab commandments. I think they were just athletic training commandments in general. So now we're going to try and come up with a few rehab commandments. Are you looking it up?
Yeah, I'm checking it up. I'm checking out what.
While you're doing that, I'm going to thank the official sponsor of the Candid Athletic Training Podcast, Healthy Roster, the best EMR in the world, bar none. If you are in the market for a new medical records system, check them out, www.healthyroster.com. They just released version 2.0, which has some pretty cool features. So they're pretty excited about that. I think their product was the best to begin with, and now they just made it better. So you cannot go wrong. Check them out, healthyroster.com. Thanks to Smart Tools. Smart Tools, 10% off anything at Smart Tools Plus using the code CANDID10. Also, thanks to Athletic Trainer Insurance Plus. If you are a member of the Candid Athletic Training Podcast, which hopefully you are or will be, you can get a discount on professional liability insurance through Athletic Trainer Insurance Plus. So it's probably a rate you're going to want to check out. If you have questions, email us, use social media, go on our website. There's a form where you can contact us if you have questions about professional liability insurance and how to save yourself money. I'll say that again. We want to save you money. So, if you're spending money on professional liability insurance and you want to spend less, reach out to us and we can show you the way. So, Kevin, what do you got?
Well, I don't know.
Commandments. Did you find it?
I did. Oh, episode 34.
34, and this is episode
almost 200 episodes.
This is episode 227. We should have done
almost like 200 weeks ago.
This would be like the one time we could do 227 fat, but I don't remember the show very much.
227. Give it to me. What's
The
227?
Jeffersons,
Oh, the Jeffersons.
right? Isn't that 227?
Couldn't
Oh,
tell ya.
no. 227 B Baker Street.
What?
Damn.
Really? Is it
Sherlock
227?
Holmes. No,
227?
220 B Baker Street. Sorry. 227 is the
You
Jeffersons.
are all over the frickin' place right now.
My brain, I've been scrambling. The Jeffersons.
There is a TV show called 227.
Maybe that's what it was. The spin-off. That was the spin-off of the Jeffersons.
Follows the lives of a group of middle-class people living in an apartment building. From 1985.
Yeah, because that was.
Is it a spinoff of the Jeffersons?
Does it say?
I haven't found anything like that.
I thought it was. Maybe it was just a different.
I'm not seeing anything.
Okay, it was just a different. It was like right after.
It was. I'm sure it was like a similar show and stuff. Same era, right? Well,
Yeah.
when were the Jeffersons on?
I'll tell you. I just had that pulled up because I thought that was what it was. The
Wait,
Jeffersons.
The Maid. Wait.
Hold on.
It's
Here.
the same. The show was created as a starring vehicle for Marla Gibbs, who had become famous as Florence Johnson, the maid from the Jeffersons. So the main character was from the Jeffersons, but not a spinoff.
Okay.
It was just the same actress.
So the release of the Jeffersons
We were
was
there.
1975 to 1985.
And look
then
at that.
And the Jeffersons,
The
227
227
started in 85.
Wow, look at you.
Probably July 3rd.
Dave would be so proud of you.
Yeah.
You had it there.
Oh no, because it says related and it has a bunch of things, but it doesn't have 227 on there. So I was sort of right, but not exactly. I'll take that as a win.
It's a great question. I mean, you know addresses from sitcoms, Chad? No, it was just that it was the name of the show, 227. Oh, we got anything else before we get
No, we
into
got
this
we got
show?
people joining the live stream, so thank you. I appreciate that. No, I don't have a bunch of intro stuff. Things are plugging along. Anything new in your world? I mean, you got a countdown going.
I got a countdown. We got 2 months. 2 months to go for
2 months to
baby
number two.
number 2. My son's 1. Baby number 2 on the way. We're doing it. Trying to be tired all the time. Figuring it out.
More tired.
More tired. Can you get more tired, or is there just tired?
Can you be overtired?
Can you be undertired?
I legit asked this last week. I read somebody said I don't know if it was a video or whatever, and somebody said overcompensated.
Overcompensated. Yeah.
And I understand the concept,
Mm-hmm.
but can you truly overcompensate?
I don't know.
Because, like, let's say you're
Give me some
driving.
context, yeah.
You're driving on an icy street.
Yep.
You start to skid, so you have to turn the wheel the other way to get yourself
Turn
back
into the skid.
And then when you go too far that way, then you have to come back the other way, and you're going back and forth, right? People would say you're overcompensating. I would say you're just compensating for where you're at.
Interesting.
Does that make sense?
I see your point, but I wonder if
So,
you,
if
you
you're
perfectly compensated for the turn, would you still be compensating? Yeah, you'd still be compensating. So then, yeah, I think you can overcompensate. I just noticed you have your name on your water bottle over there.
Yeah.
And a phone number.
Just in case I
Should
lose
we-
this one for the third time.
Should we show the...
So
show
I've
the
had
folks?
so this is a smart water bottle. It keeps track of how much you drink. It's got an app on your phone. Watch this.
They're noisy, too.
I put it down. Let's see.
And now
This should light up. There should be a flashing light saying, "Oh yeah, I just registered some more."
Oh.
Let's see. Let's see if it
Wow.
happens. Maybe not.
Hydrates.
There it is. There it is. So it
Oh.
just registered that I drank some water.
Wow.
I've had 2 of these and lost them. So
Okay.
this is bottle number 3, and the wife says if I lose this one,
She's divorcing you?
I'm getting no more.
Okay. Wow.
I'll tell you what.
Where did you lose them?
At the gym.
At the gym.
Actually, I think I've only had
at
one.
the
This
Gime.
might be my second one.
The Gime.
This
a
is
Gime?
the Hydrate. This is a Hydrate water bottle. I'll give them a shout out. This is the Hydrate Spark. HIDRATE Spark. So I think this is the souped up model. Hydrate Spark. I'll tell you what, ever since I've been drinking this, the trips to the bathroom are way up. Like probably I go to the bath. I probably pee like 40 times a day now. I got the tiniest tank. I got definitely something wrong with a tube somewhere.
So apparently Megan met your long lost brother
I feel so bad.
in Tucson, and he works in medical logistics. He uses moulage to make victims for the rescue guys.
Is he my brother because he looks like me? Because if
assuming.
so, I feel sorry for him.
I also am confused.
What's
He-
moulage?
He uses moulage to make victims for the rescue guys. I'm actually confused by that sentence, and I would love an explanation, Megan.
Can I get the definition?
Can I
Can I
get the origin
of moulage?
Uh,
Well, somebody that reminds her of me, I guess.
I guess so.
That's nice. Thanks.
I don't know if I've ever met your doppelganger. I don't know if I've met that person.
Somebody has told me that there's somebody out there that looks like me before once. I feel
Like
bad.
like a famous actor.
No, not really. I don't think anybody could be this weird. Overcompensating is going past the point of compensation, so back to neutral. But see, I think it's actually just compensating the other way, not overcompensating. That's the argument I would make. You compensate like you're doing something, so you have to compensate to get back to.
So I think if you, let's say, we'll take the driving analogy again. You're starting to slide, right? And if you turn the wheel all the way, and then all of a sudden you start sliding back the other way, right? Then you overcompensated for.
You're just compensating to being in the wrong position.
You're just constantly compensating.
Constantly.
So there's no point.
How about this?
There's no point of perfect compensation. Right?
I don't know. How about, can you overreact? You're just reacting.
I think you can overreact.
Somebody would interpret that you're overreacting, but you're just reacting.
I think it's still overreacting.
Okay, fine. These are the things that go through my head, the conversations. This is why we have a podcast.
Moulage is makeup, like bullet holes and intestines hanging out and bruising. Oh, rescue guys is a pararescue who rescue service members who are in the shit. I love it. I love the love.
That guy's doing some stuff.
That guy is doing some stuff.
I'm just reacting. Ask my wife if I ever overreact.
I'm just reacting. I'm not overreacting. I'm
no
just
comments.
Reacting.
Don't do anything to make me react. Yeah.
I'm going to do that.
I'm not overreacting. I'm just reacting. You are interpreting it as overreacting.
God.
Wife.
And now you're going to say that I'm overreacting about me overreacting.
I know.
Right? When all I'm doing is reacting to you saying I'm overreacting about reacting about something.
Correct. You are on the same wavelength as me. This is great. This is why we podcast together.
That's a classic husband-wife freaking argument right there. Yeah. That'd be great. Well, you want to do a show?
Yeah, let's just fucking get out of it.
Sweating in here.
You are?
Yeah, my legs are hot. Well, I don't know if you guys can tell, but I did a little BFR session right before Chad walked in. Just so my arms looked huge.
And you used the Smart Tools cuffs?
I used my Smart Tools 4.0 Smart Cuffs. They're pretty awesome, guys. I'm not going to lie.
Have you ever heard of underreacting?
Yeah. I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I have. Why are you having no reaction? You're underreacting to something. I don't know if you can undercompensate. Can you undercompensate? Whatever. We got to move on with the show. This is why our show ends up being an hour and a half.
Yeah, because we talk stupid stuff. All right, let's do top 5, Kev.
Okay.
If I find the right button here. Top 5 this week. Last week we did the cold weather. This week we're going to do the warm weather. We asked 107 athletic trainers, Kevin, what's the maximum temperature you would feel good working outside?
Max temperature I would feel good working outside. Feel good is a very interesting way to interpret this.
It feels good.
Feel good. Yeah. 78 degrees.
Oh, that's yours?
That's roughly. I would say working outside if I'm actually being an athletic trainer, 75 is probably perfect. Not quite 72,
Yeah.
75.
Yeah.
I want to be a little warm.
But there's perfect temperature, and there's like the max that I'm not.
Well, that's what I'm saying, that you feel good at, though. That you feel good.
I said, what's the max temperature you'd
feel good at? Right?
Well, I guess that's just how I.
Yeah, that's how you wrote
let me,
it.
No, let me just make sure.
Okay.
Let me just make sure.
I'm still going to say 78.
All right. Survey Monkey, what is the max temperature? What's the maximum temperature you would feel good about working outside? Okay, yeah, that's how I worded it.
And then I'm going to say 84. I think there's some crazies out there. 98. And then we'll go back to 72. We're just going to go back to that 72.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to throw an odd one out there. 103 degrees.
Holy hot as balls.
I think there's some people that are just, that's just what they strive to be.
Okay.
Hot. Give it to me.
I would like to work all day in the sauna, please.
That would be crazy.
5th place on top 5 this week. 6 athletic trainers said 80 degrees. 80 degrees.
Yeah.
4th place, 8 athletic trainers said 100.
100 million.
3rd place, 13 athletic trainers said the max they're working is 95 degrees.
Okay.
So we've got 80, 100, 95. 2nd place, 16 people said 90 degrees.
Nate, come back.
And then 1st place, 26, so basically 1 out of every 4 people surveyed, said 85 degrees.
Okay.
So you were slightly lower. Well, no, you had 78, 72.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody went into the nobody in the top 5 went into the 70s. 84 was basically spot on.
It looks like
85.
most people did say what's the highest temperature they would feel
yeah,
where they're like, nope, I can't do this. I'm out. You guys are on your own.
What's the hottest you've ever worked?
Oh God. Easily 100 plus. I bet I worked some days in the South floating 103, 100, 105. But I remember one series against the Jackson Braves where it was
home or away?
We were away. Where we were legitimately.
Is that Jackson, Mississippi?
Correct. It was like 98 at like 9 o'clock at night and legit like 90% humidity. It was wild. Just everybody's just sweat buckets. And there was then that really stale air, like no breeze whatsoever. And that's what Jackson tended to be one of the hotter spots because of that. Like there just never was a breeze. At home, we were at least on the Gulf. And so we would get like air. Like there was most of the time. There was still some hot freaking bad days, but we would at least get a little bit of air. Pensacola, same thing. There was at least this movement. Jacksonville, kind of.
Movement's important.
Oh, the Tennessee spots. There was Jackson, Tennessee. That was also a sweat box. And then Jackson, Mississippi was bad. That was bad. Mobile tended to be bad, but only because like the dugout was basically the size of this table for like 30 people.
The dirty South.
Oh man.
I think the most the hottest I've worked was in Nebraska. It was a exhibition soccer match. They actually, because it was
exhibition.
It was not even like a.
Wow.
It was not even a real.
Just asking for some things. Yeah.
They actually decided that that was the first time that the referees are like, we're gonna just change the rules. We're gonna take a stop every 15 minutes, so we can get water every 15 minutes, so nobody dies.
I honestly can't remember the hottest, just because I had 2 straight years of just like it was just always incredibly hot. Like
it was on turf too. I bet you it was probably over 110 on the turf.
Oh, I bet.
Maybe
I bet.
between 110 and 120. So the highest answer we had was we had 2 people that said 120.
Whoa.
Oh, we had one person that said 125.
Whoa.
That's high.
I work in what's it called? What's the Death Valley?
Yeah.
They just work in Death Valley.
The lowest, somebody said 69, but that's probably not a real answer. That's a dirty joke answer. Nice joke. 70. Somebody said they're not going outside if it's 70.
70.
Maybe that's like the last I feel good. After that,
Yeah. I think anything
feels
above
bad.
70, it's like, well, I am now not comfortable whatsoever. And I can see that. I got a couple friends that once it's above 70, they're not comfortable. What do you got?
My wife just sent me a text. This is great. I'm going to read this.
She said you better not be overcompensating over there.
He was taking forever on the potty before bedtime. He was using his Elmo tablet and reading the books, but was pressing a button like 8 times. So I was like, Bennett, you're driving me nuts. And he goes, Mommy, I can't have nuts because he's got a really severe nut allergy.
Mom,
he's like
sorry,
really
can't have
a
nuts.
Sharp sense of humor.
Oh, I'm sure he does.
It's incredible.
He is your child.
Yeah, it's really sassy. It's great. I kind of love it.
Sassy
deep down, I'm like, yeah, good, man. Just think through it. It's great.
I mean, when kids when they come up with sass that is also kind of hilarious and they make you laugh, it's like, what are you supposed to do? Like, how in that moment as a parent are you going to compose yourself to be like, hey, you can't be sassy when what they actually said was perfectly funny?
Yeah, I get it.
I mean,
yeah,
they can be hilarious because they're so truthful about things, Their filter is just like, Mom, I can't have nuts. Why did you say that?
Yeah, it's great. It's just
I would laugh at that.
How kids process versus how adults process.
Oh, love it.
So back to the top 5 here.
Back to
reality. Do you think that most people up north would be more inclined to say, give me the heat, and vice versa? The down south people are like, give me the cold? Or do you think the people up north saying, hey, I'm okay if it's colder, and the people down south are saying, I'm okay if it's warmer? Is that why you choose? Oh, that's what it was.
That's what it was. You remembered. I think the preference, I think you do get like acclimated to your environment, right? I never got used to like the heat. Like it wasn't like all of a sudden I walked outside when it was 95 degrees and super humid, like, oh, this is fine. It just was like you succumb to it. You're just like, this is just part of my life, and why would I complain about it? But I never was like, at the end of my summer in Biloxi, I was never like all of a sudden more adapted to the heat. I don't think. I didn't like sweat less or more appropriately, or I don't think. Maybe I did a little bit. Who knows? Every time I get in the sauna and it's hot, it's hot.
Yeah. I just feel like being up here, I'm probably better in the cold than like working outside in the 30s. I got like, okay, I can do it. I know I can do it, so it's not a huge deal. Where if I was in the heat, that's new to me. I was like, Jesus, what am I going to do with this?
It's tough when it's new.
Yeah.
No matter who you are, no matter which direction the temperature goes, it's just tough when it's new. But I mean, I agree with Nisi. I think even if you're from the South, like you'd prefer the warmth over the cold.
I don't know, because
I do.
You can only take off so many layers, but in the cold, you can put on as many layers as you need.
Yeah, but putting on more and more layers doesn't necessarily stop 12 degrees. It just doesn't. When you're cold, you're cold. Eventually, you get too many layers on, they can't move.
It's okay.
And also, I learned from my days as a valet, the more layers, not the better. It's actually just appropriate layers. If you just have appropriate layers, things that control your body heat, keep it trapped in, less layering is actually better.
It's just worse for the bathroom breaks.
Lots of layers, bad for bathroom breaks.
All right.
And once you're naked, they fire you. So
That's a strike for the 125 because I would be butt ass naked in 125.
Butt ass naked.
Could you do athletic training
Naked?
in swim trunks or bikini?
Why not?
Why not?
Who the fuck cares?
It's
Somebody's got to do it that way.
bikini in a sling pack. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm
It's
saying
125. Let's be realistic here.
how many. I would like to know. Maybe this is a good Twitter poll or like something. How many athletic trainers out there are wearing these sling bags as like their fashion of choice now? Have you been seeing this lately? People are wearing like fanny packs like across, like they're a side bag kind of, but it's a fanny pack.
Are you saying just ATs or
I want to know how many athletic trainers are. So fashion
wear-
is fashion, right? Not as an athletic trainer are you wearing your fanny pack as a sling pack.
do you wear a fanny outside of work?
Yes, there you go. Do you wear a sling bag or a fanny pack outside of work?
All right,
Athletic trainers,
I'll put it
or
up.
are you like, why the hell would I ever do that?
I'll put that up as we do our friend or foe.
Like when cargo shorts were the thing,
Yeah.
you know, like seriously.
Oh, is Hannah around?
around?
Just kidding.
God, we haven't seen Hannah in a
Yeah.
while. Was she on last week? I probably forgot.
She was on a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
She made an appearance. Okay, I'm gonna put that poll up.
Someday.
But first, I want you to take on this friend or foe here.
Give it to me.
Completing or doing CEUs on your off time, non-work hours.
Completing CEUs during non-work
The root
hours.
of the question is, should you be doing your continuing education while you're working? Should you
No.
be able to block off time, work time, to do that?
No.
You
Absolutely
should
not.
have to do your continuing education on your own hour.
Absolutely. If you're being paid to do a job,
I think this is the wait.
like you're being paid to do a job, you're being paid to like take care of
Isn't
your
part of
team.
your job getting better?
No. Your job.
Part of your job. Part of your
No.
job is not getting better at it. Oh, this is
No.
the first time I think you and I have actually really
Absolutely
been
not.
steadfast on the where I can actually. This is maybe the first time I've ever vehemently disagreed with you.
I don't think so. Like, okay, what's the limit of amount of hours that you should be allowed, that you should get paid in order to educate yourself for your job?
Say that again.
So, like, if you should be paid
Yeah.
while doing your CEUs, what's the amount of hours? 50?
Yeah.
Right?
Whatever it takes to
Every
get.
2 years?
Yeah.
Okay.
25 hours a year.
So, like, why, as an employer, would I pay you to learn when I'm paying you
To improve my
do
performance.
No, I'm paying you to do a job. I'm not paying you to learn. I'm paying you to do a job. In order for you to continue to be a better, athletic trainer, you need to learn how to be a better athletic trainer. Otherwise, I will go find a better athletic trainer. Does that make sense?
So I was doing CEUs at work today. You're
Sure.
saying I should be fired?
No, I'm not saying you should be fired.
Because I'm using my downtime to try and be productive.
Okay, so then now there's a distinction between should I be allowed to, or should that be part of Freighter Sports Medicine says, hey, log those hours that you do CEUs and I'll pay you for it.
Sorry, I guess what I was thinking is you're working, right?
Mhm.
Let's say you're back in Biloxi.
Yep.
In between and I know
downtime.
there's
Yeah,
some downtime.
Every athletic trainer in a traditional setting has downtime.
Should the expectation be that it's okay to do that, or you have to punch out, go home, and sit at home and do every single one of your 50 hours at home? Is what you're telling me?
No, I'm saying if you have downtime and you're reading something, I mean, if you have downtime and it's okay, literally you have nothing else to do and you're on your phone, checking your fantasy football team, whatever. But I definitely don't think that like a scheduled break in your day to eat lunch, that there should be a scheduled time that you can do continuing education.
Okay, so
That
you're
doesn't
saying
make sense to me at all.
So you're saying you should not block X amount of hours for it.
Correct. Like, I don't think that should be part of like your day.
Okay, how about
like,
this?
Mm-hmm.
Last week there was a presentation
Mm-hmm.
by a local MRI place.
Yeah.
Is on
Sure.
how to read MRIs.
Yeah.
So we literally got our boss to block the clinic for an hour so we could take this 1 hour course about learning how to interpret and read MRIs.
Okay.
So that the next time we have somebody who comes in with an MRI, we can read it better.
Okay.
Are you saying that they should not have allowed us to do that? Like if it's set at a specific, like it's an event that's at a specific time,
Mm-hmm.
and if that falls in your normal work hours, you should
Sure.
not be allowed to do it?
A Tuesday at noon or 1 p.m. You close down the clinic so that you guys could
We
go
did.
to this presentation.
Are you okay with that or not okay with that?
I would say if I'm freighted, like I can afford to close down my clinic. If I'm me and like the 10 people that walk in that 1 hour, like I just lost a lot of money. And for you to be able to maybe read an MRI a little bit better.
What if you're working the high school and there's
I'm definitely not paying for you to read MRIs more.
okay, but there's like, let's say there's a course that somebody wants to take. They're working in high school.
I would also argue this. What if you wanted to leave to go to a BFR 1 hour BFR class, and then Joe wanted to leave and go do a 1 hour kettlebell swinging class? Like, would that have been okay? I think they literally were like, this is applicable to our clinic, and so therefore let's do this. Like, because everybody in your clinic basically sees MRIs all freaking day, right? And like, now for you, like, I don't understand why they would say, oh, Chad, like, why don't you go to this seminar, how to read an MRI? Like, you don't have to read an MRI. Like, it's literally not in your scope of practice.
Sure.
Did you get CEUs for it?
I did.
That's awesome.
Well, category D.
Yeah, there you go.
Category D.
I mean, by all means, I want CEUs for reading x-rays and MRIs because I think I would love to know how to read them more.
Yeah.
I always wanted to know how to read them more.
Yeah. So I think at the root of the problem, or the root of the different, yeah.
Do I think it's okay if you are studying during work hours? Because
yeah,
you don't
I think
have
that's
else?
what the root of the question was.
Absolutely.
For me.
But do I think you should get paid? Like, that should be part of your job and get paid? Like, it's like part of, like.
But it is part of, I still think it's still part of your job.
Well, athletic trainers don't get paid to eat. Part of you being a being. If you're an hourly athletic trainer, like, you're technically probably not being paid to eat, right?
So when they hire you, if it's in your contract says, thou shalt not do any continuing education, you're okay with that?
No, I wouldn't be. I'm like, because again, I'm not saying that you shouldn't be allowed to do continuing education.
Well, you just said they're not going to pay you.
I do not think that, like, so say for you, right? Like, you are, in all purposes, a 9-to-5er, right?
Yep.
That you, from 9 to 5, your expectation is that you're seeing patients, right? I do not think it's okay if, like, all of a sudden you're like, hey, guys, I'm going to do this continuing ed class when there's patients that need to be seen.
Sure.
Just because you're allowed, like, oh, you have to do 50 hours of continuing education. I think you're getting paid to do a job. You're not getting paid to be better at your job. You will get paid more if you get better at your job.
Okay. I think where we're arguing is I think it's I was interpreting it as I understand I have yeah, that's true. Which is why it's a good friend or foe. It's turned out to be a really good friend or foe.
Yeah.
I was thinking,
what is the original question, by the way?
Doing CEUs on your off time, should you have to do them?
Friend or foe, continuing education during non-work hours.
So, should you have to go home and use your Saturday?
Yes, I actually
You think you should have to do it on your weekends and your nights when you're not at work?
I 100% think that if you choose to be any profession, in order to get better at that profession, that is on you. That is not on your employer to like make that happen.
That's the first time I actually fundamentally really disagree with you, but that's okay. That's why we do the question. I just think if I'm an employer and I want to have the best employees, I should provide them the opportunity to learn and grow.
And I think that's on the employee to be that person. I don't think that's on the employer to say, like, and guess what? Like, we're going to, like, you have 45 minutes allocated in every one of your days to learn something. Does that make sense?
Say it again.
Like, I completely think becoming better at what you do as your career is on you. It's on the employee, right? Or the individual who is in that career. I think it's actually a very slippery slope of once, like, if as an employer, I said to my employee, hey, I've also built into a half an hour of every one of your days is geared towards you learning something. So I want you to spend a half an hour every single day reading some research articles or doing a continuing ed class or this and that. Like, that's part of your, I don't want you going home and wasting time, like, with your family, whatever.
I actually think that's exactly what the profession needs. Is for somebody to stand up and say, we want you to take time and get better and not sacrifice your work-life balance. Like, ultimately. But I mean, yeah. I think we could argue
I understand your argument. I understand, like, your point. But I think it's dangerous to me when employees are constantly thinking that the employer should be providing things. Go out and get it. Like, just go out and get it.
Well, like, I don't think they should be providing ice cream sundaes, which would be great, and the AT Ice Cream Club would. But especially I think continuing education is continue education directly correlates to your productivity. So
I don't think so.
You don't think getting a continuing education?
I think I've watched about at least 100 hours of continuing education that I never use as an athletic trainer.
You should be watching better continuing education.
Come on. I mean, sure. And I'm going to get 20 from NATA that I went to how many lectures?
Yeah. Well, you can still sign up. Well, you can actually on the website you can still sign up and watch them.
I'm going to get how about this one? Yeah. In my former employer, one of my coworkers got CEU reimbursement denied because he wanted to go to the TPI, Titleist Performance Institute.
Yeah.
Right? Which, in the grand scheme of things, it's really just rotational, exercise,
it's just labeled as a golf course.
Exactly. I mean, it might as well be whether it's Louisville Slugger or it's Titleist. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And they got denied because they were like, we're not going to pay you to go to, like, a golf, like, performance thing. Like, that doesn't make sense. So where would the line be of you want to learn NKT and they're like, no. Like, we don't do that here. Like, I'm not gonna allow you to learn that. Like, so do you want ultimate freedom of learning whatever you want and somebody to, like, say you can, like, you can do it during paid time? Like, because eventually somebody's going to say, what are you learning? And then they're going to be like, I'm not paying you to learn how to read an MRI, Chad. You're an athletic trainer. Like, you're not going to read an MRI. So get to work. That's going to happen. If that's built in, now all of a sudden your continuing ed is going to be controlled by your employer of what you can and can't do. I would promise that, because eventually somebody's going to get fed up with athletic trainers or PTs learning things that they don't think that they should be learning.
This is one of the best discussions we've had.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I don't know if we will ever. Well,
and maybe we'll come back to
I
think
it sometime. But
it's very interesting because athletic training is not always a 9 to 5, right? And it's not. There's obviously hourly athletic trainer, but a lot of athletic trainers are just salary. So, like, it's kind of just expected, get all your work done. We expect you to stay until this point of after a game or after practices. We expect you to show up this amount of hours before. But, like, during your downtime, by all means, like, if you have time to do stuff like learn, I think now you're using your time wisely. But I definitely don't think
and that's where I was going with the question.
Yeah. So I mean, doing CEUs outside of during non-working hours, it's a really hard friend or foe from the standpoint of like
Sure.
kind of what's your setting.
Well,
I think it's to me it's a friend. I from the standpoint of I totally don't live in a world of like I have working hours, really, right? Like if just the way my life is set up now, if I was in my previous
yeah.
work life, if like if I could not do CEUs away from my job, like that would have been great. It would have been wonderful. But I definitely wouldn't have been able to sit down and like do a, let's just say, a 6-hour course like productively while I was working. Like I would have gotten like 10 minutes at a time because it was always like, at most I had 20 minutes of downtime in like
Which is
these
why
windows.
they invented the study at your own pace courses. So
Right.
I think one way of just looking at it is, let's say, like the NKT course that we took, which was one of the most beneficial courses that you and I have taken, kind of changed both the trajectory of our careers. It was only offered on the weekends, right? It's offered at certain times, which more people are available. I guess if it was offered during the work week and you had the option, you're saying you should still take it on the weekend and not during the work week.
I
So
missed like the first
yeah,
part of
so
that.
NKT, the
Yep.
NKT course.
Yep.
When you took it and when I took it, I think it
Mhm.
was like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It was like over the
Think
over
so.
the weekend,
Can't really remember.
because that's when it was offered, because that's when everybody is available.
Yeah.
If the course was offered, let's say it's a 2-day course. If it's
Yeah.
offered on Saturday and Sunday,
Mhm.
but it's also offered on Tuesday and Wednesday,
Mhm.
you're saying you should never take it on a Tuesday, Wednesday. You should only take it on a Saturday, Sunday, because it would interfere with your work. If you worked
No,
Monday through
I'm
Friday.
saying if you're going to take it on a Tuesday and Wednesday, your employer shouldn't pay you during that time. That's what I'm saying. Like
Okay.
you should have to take time off. And if you want to be paid for it, take paid time off.
Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily know if I agree or not,
And like
because I
so
think you're
like
still,
Nate
yeah.
and even Nate like said like the employee is expected to continue to go above and beyond, but the employer has no responsibility in that. Um kind of. Yeah. I do like I truly believe that the employee your value as an employee is up to you, and the employer, what their responsibility is to hopefully keep paying you more, right? Now, if the incentive of like I can't pay you more, I don't have enough in the budget, what we're going to do is try and manipulate your schedule so that you have free time, and to you, Chad, that is valuable to so now I don't have to do CEUs outside of work.
Yeah.
Okay. But that's like an incentive. That's a benefit of working somewhere. But
Yeah.
I do not think that like
So if you're a salary employee and if you really want to do a course, and you talk to them and be like, yeah, I think this is really good, and you get the day off, should they dock you? They should take it. You should, if you're a salary employee.
well, I think I mean salaried employees have paid time off or like not paid time off, right? I would assume.
When
Right?
I was at UWM, I was just,
That's
this
true.
is your salary.
Yeah, you didn't get paid. Yeah. But that's a very special circumstance.
Yeah.
Zero chance I could have taken off from the
And
Brewers to go to a CEU course in the middle of my season,
sure.
right? I couldn't even go to my fucking friend's wedding. Like I barely could go to my sister's wedding. I couldn't go to my girlfriend's grandmother's funeral, let alone like go take a CEU course.
Sure.
And because the expectation was there.
Well, and I guess that's why this is a great friend or foe, because different people at different settings have different obligations and different whatever. And we're just taking it from our own perspectives, I guess.
I do think if there's like, so here's a difference. Like as an athletic trainer, you and to let's say practice and to have a job with Freighter Sports Medicine, you have to be CPR certified, right?
Yeah.
Like I do think that is on the employer. If you are going to require me to be CPR certified, then you need to provide me CPR certification. And that should be during work hours, 100%.
So what's the difference between being required to have your 50 hours of continuing education? It's still a requirement.
Because legitimately, your employer isn't requiring you to get CEUs. Your licensure is, right? I think.
Yeah, but don't you need to be licensed to be employed?
Correct.
In that particular.
That's on you to keep your license, though.
Okay. I guess we're just fundamentally like, yeah, that's going to be the crux of the
as
argument.
like, let's say as a basketball coach, you have to be CPR certified, right?
Mhm.
Like the school needs to I think if it's required for you to be CPR certified because there's nobody else that's CPR certified, then you're going to pay for that CPR certification, and like that should be like provided by you.
Sure.
Something like that.
All right.
But I do think if you could not do any CUs outside of your work environment, great. Go for it.
Do
but
them
I think,
all during your downtimes is
I
what
think
you're
also
saying.
like you're going to limit yourself in what you're getting, right? Like are they going to bring in master dry needling to your clinic so that all athletic trainers that don't touch people treatment wise are going to learn dry needling? No. Like they're going to bring in something else.
Yeah.
OSHA standards.
All right, we're going to move on because we'll be here arguing. We're already 45 minutes in. We've made it through 2 segments. I had some would you rathers, but we're going to save those for next week.
Sure.
Let's do an FMK real quick. We're going to call this one the foot fetish.
The foot fetish.
I want you to F, marry, and kill, or marry, kill, and F the following 3 foot intrinsic exercises.
Intrinsic.
Intrinsic foot muscles.
I need
Kinky.
Origins again.
Towel crunches. Picking up, whether it's marbles or foam or whatever you want to pick up with your toes, and you have to put it in the cup or whatever that
whatever
thing
you're
is.
grabbing with your toes.
Toe grabbers. And then toe, was it splays? Toe splays?
Toe splays.
Apart. You go. All right. Do you know what you would do?
Yeah. Absolutely marry toe splays.
You're marrying them.
100%. Probably 99% of people out there need to open their feet. And I think that alone would take care of a hell of a lot of injuries from the feet and going up. I will the towel or the marble something pickups. I'm going to F with the towel because I think when somebody puts their foot on the ground and like in order to like actually like only flex their toes to get that towel going, it's kind of this like brain exercise, brain teasing exercise. Like sometimes they don't get it right the first time, but the more they do it, the more experience they get. And then, ooh, yeah, I can get this towel whenever I want. So I'm going to F it. And then I'm going to have to kill the marble pickup. I feel like I probably get enough toe flexion and so forth from the towel for sure. And then in my daily life, I probably get enough toe flexion and curling my toes. And I just think it's like to try and pick something up. I don't know. I just wouldn't do it. So I'm gonna kill it.
Yeah.
Pinky toe.
I too will kill the pickup sticks or the pickup whatever you're gonna pick up. I think it's the most easy
Pickup sticks.
The cheat to compensate. It's really not. You're not really accomplishing what you should be accomplishing. I think probably getting a little bit too much hip flexion in there and just lifting. So
hip flexion.
I think I'm gonna reverse your Mary and your F though. I think.
In reverse.
I think flip it in. Missy Elliott. I think towel crunches. Trying to get that short foot type motion is super beneficial. I think the arch. I guess it kind of depends on how you are really doing your towel crunches. You can do it almost more like a short foot, or if you're truly grabbing with the actual toes. I
Ooh,
guess
good
when
call.
I do towel
Good
crunches,
call.
I'm trying to more like get it on the
Press and drag.
press and drag. Like
Ooh, I like it.
it's more of a
I
short
like it.
foot, but
Yeah.
on the towel.
It's a great one.
That's better than actually like crunching with the toes.
I would agree.
So if it's done correctly, I
Learn
think
how
it's probably the most beneficial because give me some short
learn
foot.
learn how to create a short foot.
Toe splays I think probably feel the best, and so does effing. So I think, and just to
Stretch it out.
mix it up a little bit, change your position, change your foot. So
It just feels so good afterwards too.
yeah, I suck at it,
Especially when you get a cramp.
I so I probably should do some more toe splays, but
We all need to.
yeah.
We all need to do more toe splays. So maybe we all need to F a little bit more. That's a good way to do it. You know, we just all need to F just a little bit more.
Just mix it in once or twice.
Maybe I need to be doing it less.
Nisi says Mary towels crunch because it really works the foot. F the marble pickup and kill the toe splay because it's boring. Colleen said F the toe splays. Mary the towel scrunches kill the marble pickup. Nate said marry the towel scrunch. Kill
Scrunchy.
pickup. They end up feeling in their hip flexor more than their foot. F the splaying. I don't do it much, but sometimes you just gotta spread shit out and go for it.
Oh. Spread it.
And then Kyle agrees with you. Marry the toe splays. F the towel scrunch. Kill the marbles. So everybody's in favor of killing the pickup.
Sticks.
Yeah, no, not a single person in their right mind said that is the best of the three. So fun. Okay, Kev, let's do a very interesting fat real quick.
Fatty fats.
I don't know how long this will take.
Okay. It's gonna take an hour then.
Yeah, probably. Fat.
Yeah. What do you got?
This weekend was Wimbledon.
Yes.
Did you see any of it?
No.
Did you read anything?
I watched. I kind of I checked in on who won.
Oh,
but that's about it.
I was at the gym and I would just keep peeking at the TVs while things were on. And I was like, it was incredible. It was one of the best matches I've seen in a long time.
The men's championship match, right?
Yeah. The Sunday, the men's finale championship match was incredible. So it made me think, which tennis court surface would make the best athletic trainer?
Ooh.
Hard court, clay court, grass court.
Well, hard court's the most durable.
Most durable.
Clay court's the most messy. Grass is probably maybe the hardest to maintain. It's like the highest maintenance. Well, the grass I feel like is the most forgiving.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think so, right?
Hard court's like the fastest.
Yeah.
Like speeds things up.
Yeah. That's true.
Clay slows things down.
It does.
And so because it slows it down, it actually makes things go a little bit longer.
Yeah.
The rallies seem to be longer. You get to more because the ball's going slower, the athletes can get to more.
Yep.
Things tend to bounce a little less. And the clay slows it down and keeps it nice and low. The grass makes it bounce really high.
What about temperature? Like what's the which one handles temperature the best?
I would assume the grass.
I would assume too, right?
Assume.
Like
That's the assumption.
Doesn't
handle
a cold clay or a hot clay would be tough.
Yeah.
And then a hot hard court is just, blistering.
It's just what we're talking about before.
Yeah. I
think the consistency goes to the hard court. It doesn't change from beginning of the match to the end of the match where
it does not.
The clay it's got to move, it's got to shift, it's got to change in the elements. The grass probably gets worn down a little bit.
Does one adapt to the game better? Like, is the clay like kind of moving around? Is that like, is it make
Like a batter's box?
I have 100% never played on clay or grass, but I've only played tennis like twice in my life. But as the player is like sliding around, right, on clay, is it become harder to slide or does it become easier to slide? Like, is there like okay, so for instance, a hockey goalie, right? What's the first thing a hockey goalie comes out and does right after they Zamboni the rink?
Marks his territory.
Right? Like scratches up the ice in order to get like better grip, right? A hockey goalie does not want fresh Zambonied ice. Is that kind of like a tennis player on clay? Do they want fresh like that? Is it better in the first match than it is in the third, or is it better in the third than it is in the first?
I don't know.
Me neither.
And I've never been on a clay. I've been on grass courts, but I've never been on clay courts. And I've only been on grass
I
court.
don't think I've ever seen a clay court in person.
Yeah, I don't think I have either.
Are there even clay courts around here?
There has to be,
right?
Yeah, there has to be.
That's a good one. I'm gonna go with.
So is it good to speed things up? Like the consistency, the durability of the hard court's intriguing. However, is it going too fast? Is it too fast for its own good?
So Colleen says you slide a little more on clay. When it gets too hot, you have to water down the court too. So, I mean, that's very obviously. I need to get watered down when I get too hot too. But is that a? Can an athletic trainer get too hot and have to like? Can somebody take care of me? Can somebody take care of me? I'm too hot.
You need to be groomed in the middle of it.
Yeah. Can I get a fresh shave?
A refresh?
Can I get a fresh shave in the middle of my day?
Well, that was gonna be one of my friend or foes was
fresh shave
showering at work.
Yeah.
We can table that one.
Yeah, table that one. Never played on clay. Just covered a USTA tournament. They drag the courts between matches. They slide the same in set 3 as they do in set 1. Okay, so they drag them like they kind of Zamboni them apparently. Okay. All right. So I'm assuming there's a little bit of benefit to that clay being re-dragged. Otherwise, they wouldn't do it. Right?
Yeah. So you need to reset as an athletic trainer, probably
so
bad
that's
luck.
Just not going to go.
I mean, the grass is probably the most prestigious.
Yeah. Is that athletic training?
Well, I don't know. Should it be?
I don't know. Should it be? Are you just answering all my questions with answers?
Question my question?
You're just re-questioning all my questions? You know what? Hard courts, though, like, I mean, granted, there's some nice hard courts out there, but I just think about, like, the playground, like, random park in your town, and all the hard courts are, like, cracked.
It's a great call. That's a great
and
call.
Like,
you want to think, like, the U.S. Open in New York, they're pristine, they're perfect. But what percentage of hard courts don't have a crack?
But you know what? They're always there for you. They're just always there for you. The hard courts are there. They're not going away. Maybe they're a little rough on the edges. Maybe the paint has gone away a little bit. Maybe there's a crack that's going to lose you the set. But you know what? I'm still here for you.
Yeah, that's a good point. You can just roll out to it.
Dependable. You said it before. They're dependable. I feel like the other two courts are like
specialists.
Yeah, they're high maintenance. They're high maintenance.
And athletic trainers are generalists in nature.
I feel like we're gonna have to go hard court.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. First time all night. I'm just kidding. Tennis courts. Who would have ever thought?
Tennis courts.
It was one of the best matches and I didn't even see the 4th or 5th set. I just saw the first 3 sets. And the third set was, I was at the gym and I went into the hot tub and came back in and the same, like,
Ooh.
There was a point. There was like one game. It took 28 minutes.
Yeah.
28 minutes.
No,
Incredible.
I read up on it a little bit, and I heard it was pretty amazing. Hot take from my end, watching tennis doesn't necessarily do it for me.
Oh, really?
I can tell when it's a great match. I mean, I think it's wonderful, but it just still, I don't know, it doesn't do it for me.
You'd rather watch golf.
I would.
And
I
I'm
would
the
actually.
opposite.
Yeah.
I like golf, watching it on TV.
I could watch
I don't
it
get
all
it.
day. Yeah. And I mean, I play golf. You have played a lot of tennis in your day.
I haven't played in a long time.
Yeah. At the same time, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like almost every year there's like, oh my God, that was an epic match.
Yeah.
The best match I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
And it just, well, then when is it not the best match? I don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
I think a couple years ago there was an exact same match. And then there was like the match like 7 years ago that lasted 2 days. And like, I don't know.
I think the problem with tennis now is the same as the problem with baseball, is that we have gotten too good at it.
Sure.
The equipment's gotten too good. The biomechanics have gotten too good. The game is 120 to 130 mile per hour serve.
Mm-hmm.
Try to get a return.
Yeah.
And then like on the heart, like the points are so short because it's just like, can you get a return or not? It's like baseball. It's like you throw 100 to 105 mile per hour, you're going to swing and miss or hit a home run.
Correct.
It's
a great point.
It's kind of just boring now.
Tennis has become a little like, what? Like, Jesus Christ.
And I think that's probably why the women's tennis got a little bit more popular than men's tennis, because there was more rallies, more back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
The Williams sisters did a lot for it.
I did say I don't know any women's tennis players right now. Like, is there a dominant like women's?
Serena played this year.
Did she?
She did. I think she won the first round and lost in the second round, I believe.
Again, I don't really pay attention to tennis, so like, unless they're like a national figure or I should actually say worldwide figure. Yeah. I probably don't know.
Mr. Worldwide.
I also think I think there's a major problem in tennis. I saw a picture of the guy that won Wimbledon,
Alcatraz?
Alcaraz or something. Or something.
He was the number one player in the world, and I don't know his name.
He's the number one player in the world, just won Wimbledon, and only 4 people have won Wimbledon since he was born. 4 people.
So that'd be Djokovic.
Mm-hmm. Probably the most famous one of all time, I feel like, and Federer. Clay guy. Rafael
Nadal.
And then Andy Murray. Yeah, Andy Murray, right?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So Sampras, he was born after Sampras won it?
Yeah. 4 people have won Wimbledon in this guy's lifetime. That's a problem in a sport, if you ask me. If that was in golf, people would be like, whatever.
That's like WWE.
Same freaking person wins every single time.
That's Andre the Giant holding the belt for years, and then Hogan holding the belt for years.
I just think that's an interesting thing about tennis. It's like there's 3 people that dominate the sport for like an 8-year span, and that's it. Like nobody else has a chance. Like, what is that about? Now, I hope what's actually happening is now there's like this new wave.
Yeah.
And then there's a little like we get to know more people. I don't know.
I mean, it's kind of how, I guess, not necessarily how golf was.
I mean, Tiger was the most
dominant
golfer that has ever lived, and still can't even hold a candle to how many majors Djokovic has won, or Federer. Like, it's crazy.
But would you say the same thing about
Serena and Venus?
Usain Bolt, Michael Phelps, those kind of things? Individual events?
That's a good question.
Like, how many?
It's tough because it's like there's only
maybe it happens every 4 years. I guess
if there was only one major every 4 years, then then who? Of course, there's only going to be 1 or 2 people that win that. But because there's 4, and it happens every single year. If there was the Olympics every single year, and Usain Bolt won it 12 years in a row, I would actually be like, why? Can somebody else beat him? Let's go.
Yeah.
Who wasn't sick of Tom Brady?
I know I was.
What
Okay.
do you got?
We got a feature topic.
Okay.
All right. Let's see what popped up here on social media.
Commandments. Rehab.
Yeah, let's just see what the people put on.
Yeah, I could. So, for instance, I couldn't see the comments. So I'm kicked off of Twitter, people. Oh my gosh.
All right. So, friend or foe, continuing education during non-work hours. 76% said foe. 24% said friend. So 3 out of 4 said you should be able to do them at work. 1 out of 4 said you should do them on your own time. I think we're interpreting the question a little bit differently. That's fine. All right. Do you have any particular rehab rules, i.e. commandments for your athletes or patients? And I put example, thou must count your own reps. That was my first one.
I like that
Count your own reps.
I like that one.
All right.
It's a great one.
Chris Padilla, rule numero uno. We are going to have fun.
Ooh.
Is it necessary?
Zero fun, sir.
Is it necessary that I drink my own urine?
No.
But I do it.
I like it.
Denise said, you have the clock.
You have the clock. Okay. I'm not watching the clock. You're watching the clock.
Yeah. All right. Mike Van Bruggen. 1, show up. 2, be on time. 3, work hard. 4, don't duck and dive.
No dip?
Yeah.
No dip, duck, dive?
All right. Here's one. Ray said,
Did we just have two? We had two
dodgeball
freaking
references.
dodgeball references in the last 30 seconds.
It's great. That's why we do this show.
Yeah.
Ray, thou shoes cleats are off the table.
Ah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to stop real quick, though.
Treatment versus rehab or what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you do a lot of rehab on the table? I get where she's doing treatment. Maybe some some prone stuff. Shoulder stuff. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
All right, Maggie. Quality versus quantity. Do it right for 5 reps versus wrong for 10.
I love it. I'm loving it.
Bobby, come to work. Don't waste my and your time going through the motions. So what do you got, Kev? Count your reps. Anything
I like
else
counting
here?
reps. I like some of this like hard work. Thou shall only get what they put in. Like doing rehab has so much to do with your effort that you put into rehab. So many people just think it's like, well, I did the exercise. Well, did you though? Quality over quantity.
Yep.
Right.
Colleen just had a really good one.
Give it to me.
Thou shall keep one ear open all times, AirPods, headphones, etc. That's a really good one.
All right.
That's a really good
all
one.
Right. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I actually didn't allow any of my athletes to be wearing headphones during rehab.
Oh,
but I talk a lot. I agree. I talk so much.
I got one.
Okay,
I got one, and it's kind of more a pet peeve, but I'm gonna turn it into a commandment for myself. Thou shalt not wear jeans to rehab. Thou shalt not wear jeans when doing rehab.
Thou shalt.
Or thou shalt leave.
Oh.
Kyle said ice and stim is not rehab.
Yeah, it's not. It's barely treatment. Thou shall not expect miracles in one day.
That's a really good one, too.
I'm trying to think of something that they should do. Like, instead of like, thou shall be ready to start rehab at scheduled time. Like,
don't be late.
If you're coming in for rehab at 4, that's when I want you to be ready to go, right? I don't care if your part of your rehab is like, maybe let's say roll out, do some like whatever. But I don't want you to show up at 4 and then start changing for rehab. Like, you're technically on time, but I want you to be ready to go so I can go from person to person.
How about this? Thou shalt put your own equipment away.
Yeah. Well, that's a big one. That's a really good one.
I'm not picking up your bands or your kettlebells or your dumbbells or your TRX, whatever.
Nope. Put your shit away. Thou. What are the commandments? Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not steal my shit.
Don't steal my equipment. Thou shalt sign in before rehab or treatment. For some people, that's
For some people, yeah. Thou shalt sweat.
I was thinking that too. That's it. Yeah. Like, you're going to work.
Thou shalt understand this is actually a workout and not just rehab. Thou shalt get off the table. Thou shalt get on the floor. I like the count the reps, though, because I never count.
Yeah, so I think
I'm so bad at it.
My big 3 are count the reps, blue jeans, and put your own equipment away. Those are my 3 like big commandments.
Thou shalt not question my guidance.
Yeah, I think Nate said something very similar to that just a little bit ago. He said, thou shalt not tell the AT what they think they need to do in the rehab that day.
I like that.
Yeah, like, look, I know what the F I'm doing.
Thou shalt not tell me what you did in rehab with somebody else. It almost comes into like a pet peeve thing, right?
Yeah,
like,
it kind of does. Yeah.
Thou shalt not do 3 sets of 10. I think we had something like that, didn't we? Like a friend or foe or something.
3 sets of 10.
Like 3 sets.
No, but we can. That's a good one.
I think we did something like that.
Yeah.
Thou shalt use BFR cuffs.
Be open to suggestion. I mean,
Nisi says some of y'all are harsh. Yeah, very. God, I'm trying to think of all my rehabs, and if anything was like, thou shalt expect to be sore.
Yeah.
Thou shalt understand that rehab is not meant to be comfortable. You jerks.
Thou shalt not steal my Sour Patch
You know what? Last but not least for me, thou shalt bring me coffee.
That's what Kyle said.
Bring me something.
Bring me some treats.
Then maybe I will let you get away with some stuff.
Very good. I think that's fun to do. We haven't done commandments in
I like it.
a long time. So, well, some really good conversation tonight. I think that's what the podcast is for. Hopefully you enjoyed it.
Yeah, I hope so.
Thanks to everyone who jumped on the live stream. If you are listening to this in audio form and you want to contribute, you should jump on some night. We do this every Wednesday, 8:30 p.m. Central. Just come on into our YouTube channel. Thanks to Healthy Roster, the official sponsor of Candid Athletic Training Podcast. Check them out at www.healthyroster.com. Also, thanks to Smart Tools and Athletic Trainer Insurance Plus for taking care of us. Kevin, do you have anything else?
No, CandidAthleticTraining.com, Candid_ATC. Leave us your suggestions for the podcast. I mean, by all means, we need more of what you guys want to talk about too, not just what we want to talk about. So leave your suggestions anywhere you would like on all the platforms. That's what I got. Thanks, everybody. Bye.